Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jaya
Jaya Jagadguru Shila Prabhupada Jagadguru Shila Prabhupada
Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jai Guru Deva Jaya
Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva
Nitai Gora Haribo
Hari Bol
Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo
Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol
Nitai Goranga Haribo Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo
Nitai Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol
Jai.
Jai.
So let's chant one round of Hare Krishna together on the beats. Bring our beats up. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram.
Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare
Ram,
Ram, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare
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 Hare Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today we're going to discuss chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled The Universal Form of Krishna. That is the chapter we're going to be reading from today. And so in this chapter, the essence of the chapter is that even though now Arjuna is completely satisfied, Arjuna is convinced now that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that he is the all in all, he understands that there are two forms of Krishna that the world knows, the impersonal form and the personal form. So now we'll read from the Bhagavad Gita. Before we start, let's all put our hands together and chant. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Grandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiltam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamajam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vancha Kalpa Turubhischa Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pisthaya Bhutale Srimate Tamal Krishna Goswami Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pisthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesh Shinyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita ki Jai. So in this chapter, because of these two forms, the impersonal and personal form, many people are confused. Which one is actually the origin? Is the impersonal the origin? Is the personal the origin? Like that. So, and some people argue that those people who think that the Lord has a personal form are only really projecting their own selves onto the Lord and saying, because I have a form, the Lord must have a form. So these types of arguments are made by people. Although Krishna has already said that he has an impersonal form and he has a personal form, and he's already said that his original form is the personal form and it's the basis of the impersonal form. So now in this verse, in this chapter, Krishna is going to display another form that is called his Vishwarupa, or the universal form, like that. And because Krishna can have innumerable number of forms, so this is one more form that he is going to present. So the chapter starts with the first verse where Arjuna says, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about the most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. So now Arjuna no longer has any illusion. Next verse, O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. So now he's confirming that. So Arjuna, and then he says in the next verse, O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, do I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself? I wish to know how you have entered into the cosmic manifestations. I want to see that form of yours. And then he says in the next verse, if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self, the unlimited universal self. So Arjuna is requesting the universal form. One may ask why he makes such a request, since he can see Krishna already completely, and he's completely satisfied, as he said in the previous chapter. Clearly, Arjuna doesn't have any personal inclination to see the universal form, but he requests for other reasons. He wants to prove without doubt Krishna's position as the source of everything, and simultaneously set a standard for anyone in the future who claims to be God. As you know, there are many people who claim that I am God. In India, there are many God men, like we say, And so people in society fall into that trap. So the easy question we have to ask this God man is, please show us your universal form. Because if you can show us your universal form, then we must know that you are God. Because God can show. Now, here is an interesting point. Who else can show the universal form apart from Krishna? Nobody in creation, not any other incarnation of Krishna, not any of the Vishnu forms, not any of the great personalities like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, Ganesh, all these wonderful personalities. None of them have ever shown or can show the universal form. And here is one clear distinction we should learn from chapter 11, that when people actually argue with people who is God, there is nothing for us to argue about, because God knows who he is, and there is one ultimate God, the origin of everything, the origin of everyone, including the origin of his own incarnation. Now, he knows who we're referring to when we say God. But if others want to say that somebody else is God, like that, then we don't have to worry about it, because the fact is only the real God can be God. The others who are actually incarnations, and also God because they're incarnations, also know that they are an expansion, that the origin is Krishna. They know that themselves. And sometimes they even show a form of Krishna. Why? Because they're Krishna themselves. Why is he showing all these other forms? He's showing all these other incarnations because he wants to perform some specific task. Like, for example, when he shows himself as Lord Ramachandra, he's trying to show that how humankind can act in ideal ways, be ideally moral, ideal husband, ideal father, ideal friend, like that. To show ideal human life, he comes as Ram. When he comes as Lord Nityananda, he comes to show that I always protect my devotees. That I'm like a lion, king of the jungle, when it comes to protecting my devotees. Under no circumstance can any devotee actually do anything that can, under no circumstance can anybody do anything to my devotee without me intervening. I will intervene. And of course, he also is there to show us our form in the spiritual world, like that. So this is, Krishna explaining that there is a universal form. And then in verses 5 to 14, those are the first 4 verses we read. In the next verses, Krishna actually grants Arjuna's request to show the universal form. And when he shows his universal form, we can see that while he is the source of the universe, he is simultaneously the universe itself, in the sense that he is present within his own creation. Just like, say, for example, when somebody's writing a book, right? So from that book, you can understand little about the author. But actually, what you understand about the author is only one part of the whole understanding of that author, like that. Get the idea? So in the same way, God is the source of the universe, but simultaneously encompassing the universe, that is the universal form that encompasses the whole universe. So that is God greater than the universe, like that. It is not that God is the sum of the parts, but rather everything is contained inside God, within God, like that. So this explanation is given. And then we see in these verses how he is described when actually he shows himself in his form. I'm going to read some of the verses. Arjuna saw, when he showed his universal form, Arjuna saw in the universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. So people can't normally see this, but Krishna gave Arjuna the eyes to actually see this. It is described, and this is how it's described. This is actually Sanjaya describing, because Sanjaya can see everything, what's happening on the battlefield. So he's describing, and he's saying, if hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, I mean, one sun rising into the sky, we can see when it's a clear sky how bright that sun is, right? But imagine if hundreds of thousands of these suns rose at the same time, what would happen? Everything would just completely burn up. That's how powerful the light would be, right? And the heat would be. He said, if hundreds and thousands of suns were to rise at once in the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So Krishna is showing, you can see in this, Sarvajaya Madhava is showing the universal form. The effulgence that's coming out of him, they can see the effulgence, right? That effulgence was so bright that it was brighter than hundreds of thousands of suns coming out at the same time. And this is unusual, this is totally unusual. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. So many universes. I mean, we only know one universe. There are many, many, many thousands of universes. All those universes came inside him. Arjuna could see all those universes inside him. Can you imagine how great that form is? Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances with folded hands and began to pray to the Supreme Lord. So then, in verses 15 through 45, that's 31 verses, Arjuna is praying to Krishna. And this is how much he's become affected by this. And he's praying falteringly, means he can't even speak, normally. Awed by the greatness of Krishna, he begs forgiveness for having previously treated him with familiarity and friendship. In most religious traditions, they do not go beyond the majestic understanding of God, like bow down to God. God is the creator, and he's fearful, so better not do the wrong thing, otherwise you'll get punished. He's all-knowing, he's infallible, like that. This often creates fear for the people who follow God. And it lacks intimacy. You can't be intimate with a person like that. There's no sweetness in the personal relationship like that. So having seen enough, Arjuna is anxiously requesting Krishna to once again reveal his two-arm form so that he can again relish the intimacy of that interaction. But we should read some of the things that he is seeing when he saw what he saw. He is saying, your form is difficult to see because it's of its glaring effulgence spreading on all sides, like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see the glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. You are the supreme, primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all the universes. He can see all the universes resting in him. You are inexhaustible. I mean, he's so big. He's just going on and on and on. And you are the oldest. You can see there's nobody. Everybody is coming from him. All Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, all these personalities, Lord Narayan, everybody's coming from him. He can see that. You are the maintainer of the universal, of the internal religion, the personality of Godhead. This I can see, he says. This is my opinion. You are without origin. You can see there's no origin there. He's the source. He is the origin, middle. You are without origin, without middle, and without end. And your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and sun and the moon are just your eyes. And I see you with blazing fire coming out from your mouth, coming forth from your mouth, burning the entire universe in your own glance. The universe has started burning because of the effulgence coming from his eyes like fire, burning up the universes. Although you are one, you are spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space in between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. They're shaking. The planetary systems are shaking. All the grahas are actually shaking. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings are crying, all peace, are praying to you and singing Vedic hymns. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form with its many faces, arms, eyes, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. As they are disturbed, so am I. Because he could see that these entities are going into Krishna, and some of them are getting crushed, the skulls getting crushed between Krishna's fearful teeth like that. I mean, this is Krishna showing his total universal form. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. So then he asks, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance with this, seeing your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth in all directions. So he says, I'm bewildered. So he is saying that all the sons, this is very interesting, okay? Because this is Sanjaya describing also what Arjuna is saying and what Arjuna is saying. And so he's telling Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra and all of us, he's saying, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, you know, this is Arjuna speaking, all the sons of Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra is hearing what he's saying. Allied kings like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouth. And some I see are trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So as the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so all of these great warriors enter blazing into your mouth, burning into your mouth. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moths dash into destruction in a blazing fire, you know. Moths can't avoid the fire. They like the light, they get attracted by the light, but then they get burnt up in the fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universes with effulgence, your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible, scorching rays. So then he is saying, please, my Lord, come, show me your four-armed form, because this is too terrible for me to see. So then Krishna actually answers some of the points. He says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers have on both sides, or who are on both sides, will be slain. Only the Pandavas will survive. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight, win glory, conquer your enemies, and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangements, and you, O Savisachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. And this is what Krishna is explaining to us. He is going to create the results. That is why he said earlier on, do your duty and leave the results to me. He's going to create the results. All we have to do is our duty based on our nature, whatever our nature is. If we're Brahmanical, they're Brahmanical duties. If we are like Kshatriyas, Kshatriya duties. If we are Vaishyas, Vaishya duties. If we're Shudras, Shudra duties. And then depending on what ashram we're in, if we're Brahmacharis, they're Brahmachari duties. If we are Grihasthas, Grihastha duties. And then we move on to Vanaprastha and then finally to Sannyas, like that. So no matter where we are in the Varnashrama system, and more importantly, whatever the spiritual master has advised us to do, like Krishna, reading these books like that. We do our duty, the results will come. So whether it's spiritual duties or our material duties, we just do the duties knowing full well Krishna will give all the results I need. But the main thing is I should always love Krishna. So he says, this is what he says, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So then Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name. And thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. This is what's going to happen. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisance unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the whole universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. Everything that is knowable is Krishna. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes, or limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Everywhere there is Krishna. Beginning, middle, end. Wherever you go, it is actually Krishna who is the reason anything exists and anything can be seen or perceived. It's because of Krishna. You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire. You are the water and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creator, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything. Sometimes you will see Krishna devotees, they pay their obeisances from all different directions to Krishna. This is the reason. Because he deserves it, nobody else. Everybody else can pay in a certain way. That's all. Otherwise, they will not accept it. But Krishna will accept from any side, because whichever side you turn, it's only Krishna. Whoever comes before you, even if he is a demigod, he is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. So thinking of you as a friend, I have rashly addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend. Not knowing your glories, please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat and ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How, then, could there be anyone greater than you within all three worlds, O Lord, of immeasurable power? Like that. So Arjuna continues to pray like this to Krishna, that he is the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. So he offers his respectful obeisances and asks if he can see Krishna in the four-handed form, because he's seen enough. So then, in the next from verse 46 through to 55, which is 10 verses, Arjuna requests Krishna to see his Manusim. Manusim Rup means, Manusha Rupa, like that, human-like form of Krishna, around whose neck is swinging a gown of flowers beautified by the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with a flute and jeweled ornaments like that, and whose graceful three-bending form attracts the minds of his devotees. So then, these ancient texts therefore refer to Krishna as Rasavai Saha, meaning the very embodiment of affectionate relationships, loving relish, and transcendental sweetness. This is Krishna. So God is a person who is full of color, character, and bliss. See, he knows how to have a good time and is much more interested in relishing the sweetness of his pure love than the ritualistic worship of those who approach him in awe and reverence like that. So then here, Krishna actually, after he shows his form and Arjuna is satisfied and he's back to his senses, Krishna makes some very important statements. And, these are some things that we should know very nicely, He says, my dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. This is his two-armed form. He's saying, very difficult to behold this form. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear to everyone. And we're so fortunate. We can go to the temple and we can see this form. We can have pictures and we can see this two-armed form, just like right now we're seeing on the screen how Arjuna is seeing Krishna in his two-armed form. Behind him is his four-armed form, like that. You can see the two-armed form is much more beautiful. Four-armed form is a little more tough character, you can tell, little fearful character. Two-armed form is like, he's like us, very sweet person like that. He says, now he tells us how we can see this form. He says, the form you are now seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas or by undergoing serious penances. You can't do it by serious penance. Nor by charity, nor by worship. None of these ways you can see Krishna's true form. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. So now Krishna is describing, my dear Arjuna, in this verse, he's describing how we can actually see his form, and then he confirms it with one more statement. He says, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am. Undivided devotional service. Devotion means to have some loving affection towards somebody. I'm devoted to that person. Say, for example, I'm devoted to my work. Means I like my work. I love my work. I'm devoted to it. Whenever I'm doing my work, I feel happy. If I'm devoted to some person like that, then that means I'm happy with that person. I like that person. So this is undivided devotion. It means that we don't, this is like a boy falls in love with a girl, but he also loves another girl and another girl, then none of those girls are going to be happy. But if he falls in love with one girl and only that girl, then that girl becomes very happy. Like that. So in the same way, we have to give undivided devotion to Krishna. That's what he's saying. He says, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and thus be seen directly. So devotional service means, doing whatever service that we do affectionately, with happiness. And like I was saying, all day long, whatever we do, offer it as a service to Krishna. And do it with devotion, understanding you're trying to please Krishna, like that. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding Krishna nicely. And then he makes this very important statement. He says, my dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, means whatever service he's doing, purely for Krishna's pleasure, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, not trying to, get something material out of it, and not too much getting into the mental, speculation. He who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So this is the concluding verse in this chapter. Krishna is saying in this verse number 55, this is how we can go to Krishna. Whatever we do for Krishna's pleasure. And we are friendly to all others. Why? Because we understand that they are actually also Krishna's children. Krishna loves them too. Now, they may be doing whatever they're doing may not be perfect, just like whatever we're doing may not be perfect, but Krishna loves us anyway because we are his children. He loves us completely like that. So this is the way to see his personal form and come to the personal understanding of Krishna and then deal personally with other people. Such people are nice to us. People are nice to other people, just like Sajya Madhav was giving the example, how Guru Maharaj was saying that, if you just see one small spark of quality in some person, then you focus there, you spend that spark turn into a blazing fire. Don't get caught up in the other things. Why? It is love, you see. In love, when a boy falls in love with a girl, he's looking for the good things in the girl. He's not looking what the bad things are with that girl. He's not. In fact, even if she can't speak properly, or even if she doesn't look the best, sometimes you see people, right? They fall in love with other people and you think, why you fell in love with this person? The person doesn't even look very handsome or very beautiful. But that's not love. Love means if I fall in love with their handsomeness or their beauty, that means I'm falling in love with that, not falling in love with the person. The person is whatever they are, complete. I love that person completely. Just like Prabhupada often would make this statement. In England, they say something like this, Oh, England, with all thy faults, I still love thee. They love England so much. With all their faults, I still love thee. Just like some of us who come from Indian origin, we love India, right? But we know India has faults. There's some problem. But still, we love India. That's love. See? The mother loves the child, the baby. The baby may have some faults. Poops too much, doesn't poop enough, cries too much, doesn't cry enough. So many things can be wrong. But the mother loves the baby completely. Now, Krishna doesn't even have any faults. He has no faults. So really, we have no excuse not to love Krishna. And Krishna loves us despite all our faults. He still loves us. He's trying to all the way find ways to make us become happy, because with the faults we cannot be happy, right? Because when you do faulty things, we do things the wrong way, then the results also come like that. Faulty results come, the wrong results come. And then we're not happy. So it is for our happiness that we follow, morality, we follow the instructions of higher authorities, the instructions of scripture, Guru, Sadhu, and Sastra. We follow for our own happiness, actually. That makes us, we'll feel more peaceful, we'll become happier. But the greatest happiness comes when we understand it is not our happiness that we should be concerned with, we should be concerned with Krishna's happiness. Why? Because we are his reflections. Krishna is saying we are his reflections. Reflection means that if the person in the mirror wants to be happy, the original outside the mirror should smile. If the person outside the mirror is angry, then the person in the mirror will not be smiling. It won't be happy, because the origin is not happy. The original is not happy, therefore the reflection cannot be happy. So our way of doing things is that we try to make Krishna happy. We do everything to make Krishna happy. And when you make Krishna happy, then automatically everybody's happy. And Krishna is happy when his devotees are happy. And devotees are happy when Krishna is happy. Just like we are always trying to make Krishna happy, Krishna is always trying to make us happy. That's how he feels. He feels, my devotee is not happy, I'm not happy. This is the amazing, wonderful relationship we have, I call it the KISS formula. K stands for Krishna, and I stands for me, I. And there are two S's, The first S is Krishna is giving us shelter, And the other S is we are giving Krishna service. So it's called the KISS formula. Krishna and we are interacting. One arrow, K towards I, is Krishna giving shelter. The other arrow going from I to Krishna is service. So this is what Krishna wants us to do. And by this process, we can become very happy and successful in our lives. Hare Krishna. I'm going to stop here and ask if any of you would like to say something or ask any question.
Hare Krishna, Babaji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Devotees are welcome to put on the chat your question, chat box, or you can just say, I would like to go next. So we can request everyone to ask question one by one. One second. Rajni Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Rajni Mataji, you want to go? You can go. Please unmute yourself. After that, Harit Prabhu. Go ahead, Rajni Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very, very much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class. Here, my question is like in chapter 17th, like once it's still like austerities of mind. In that purport, our Srila Prabhupada told that the best practice for the mind is like the best training for the mind is to keep gravity in thoughts, keep gravity of thought process or something. Yes, keep gravity of thoughts. Is it like is it mean like we supposed to keep all our thoughts to like put down like I'm so down? Is it like that, Prabhuji? Please explain. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very good question. No, that is not what it means. Gravity of thought means that we understand how there is something very important happening. You see, when somebody becomes grave, it means that now they're really thinking about the significance of something. It's something very significant is happening. What is the very significant thing that is happening in our lives? The very significant thing that is happening in our lives is that we're being given the opportunity to enter into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and the pastimes of Gaura and their associates like that. Balaramji on the Radha Krishna side, on this side, there's Gadadhar Pandit like that, different persons like that. So we've been given this amazingly very great opportunity to enter. So we're becoming like, wow, I really need to think about this. This is amazing. Just like, say, for example, right? Imagine that you are, struggling to keep your job. Yeah, you really need your job because you have a husband, you have children, and for some reason the husband is not able to work, he's sick or something, and it is your income that is going to take care of the family. Right? And then suddenly what happens is that you realize that if you lose your job, the family is really going to suffer. It's going to be a really bad situation for you all. Children's education will suffer, the health of your husband will suffer because you won't be able to buy the medicine, things like that, right? So you're really concerned. But there's a very simple way you can get $1 million. What are you going to do immediately? Your attention will go right there. Oh, how can I do that? How can I get that $1 million? If I get that $1 million, I won't have any financial problem. The financial side is taken care of. That is what you were worrying about. And now it's going to be taken care of. So similarly, in life, we have a number of those problems are called birth, death, old age, disease. We're born into the material world, which means the material world is a place of misery. It is a place of instability. You can see that right now, right? Our homes now, it's like, first the animals are being locked and we were outside. Now we're being locked and the animals are outside. It's become a terrible situation. What is happening? Shut down the whole place and people losing their jobs. So many having so much anxiety. I was just reading today how in so many homes there's violence against the women and the children because the husband is so angry. He's not got income. So he's very angry. Takes it out on his wife, takes it out on his children. Terrible, terrible situations like this happen in this world. In the universal form, you can see people's skulls are being crushed between the teeth of Krishna. This is what time does to people. Right? So we have all these types of problems, we have Adi Devic problems, means other greater personalities are giving problems to us. It's too hot, too cold, too much rain, too little rain. Adi Atmik, our own mind is giving us, problems. Adi Bhautik, other things around us. So many problems from other living entities around us, like that. And the atmosphere around us, like that. So we're having so many problems. And then, in the midst of that, if someone comes and touches you and says, hey, you can go back to the spiritual world. You can go to the spiritual world. Even in this life, as you are here, you can actually enter into the spiritual world and come back and witness what's happening in the spiritual world. And the spiritual world, everything is just totally amazing. There's no problem. You have everything you can ever imagine and much more, millions of times over. Just like in this case, I was saying you might get $1 million. Imagine it's $1 billion now. Wow. I mean, if it was $1 trillion, you'd probably faint. Thinking, wow, I'm the first trillionaire on the planet. From so many problems to all the other side, complete amazing results. So obviously, when you start thinking about that $1 million, you're going to be what is called grave. You're going to really think about it. You're going to think, what can I do to get that? So that's gravity of thought. That's called gravity of thought. So the scriptures are advising us, acharyas are advising us, try to understand what's happening here. Don't get caught up in the side shows. The side shows look very glittery, but there's nothing there. Stay focused. What you really want to do in your life, what you really want to achieve in your life. And in the process, all the other things automatically be achieved. Just like when you have $1 billion, the $1 million automatically achieved. So all these side shows will automatically be achieved. When you re-enter the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, even as you are here, they will allow you to start re-entering. You will see amazing, amazing things happen in your life. Really miraculous things happen in your life. So this is called gravity of thought. Not that Krishna doesn't want you to run yourself down and say, bad me, I'm a bad person, there's something wrong with you, I'm fallen. We know that already. Nobody has to tell us. That we already know. You don't want to focus on that. Focus on the opportunity. Focus on that opportunity. As far as, we have fallen, that means we have to do the right thing. Right? Let's do the right thing here. That I have some problems, that means I have to do the right thing, right? So let me just do the right thing. And the right thing is what? Krishna is saying to have undeviating devotion, undivided devotion. In Bhagavad, it says unflinching. Unflinching means like my eyes, you can see sometimes closed open. It's called flinching. Imagine my eyes are always open like that. Always open. This flinching. I like that flinching, flinch. I flinched. Sometimes they do that competition, Okay, keep your eyes open and see who flinches. If you flinch, you're out. So the last person who keeps eyes open all the time, that person wins the game. So this unflinching means always you're focused. You're not, even for a moment, you're not in ignorance about what your purpose in life is. And how do you do that? You have to train yourself. Practice is perfect, right? There's an English statement like that. How do you train yourself? Morning, lunch, and evening, at least 3 times a day, remind yourself, I am Krishna's devotee. I love Krishna. Krishna loves me. I am Krishna, and Krishna is mine. I should do everything for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna is such a nice person. Such a beautiful person. He can do anything he wants. And he's such a, he loves me so much. And he loves all the other, the persons so much. It's so nice to Radharani. Radharani loves him so much, this, that, and the other. Now you might remember sometimes he doesn't do that, but Radharani fixes it and he gets around to it, But the point is, he is a very beautiful personality, very sweet personality. So you can think about him like that. And you are very fortunate because you're born in a woman's body. It's easy for women to think about a man like that than for men to think about men like that. That's why Prabhupada said when women become determined to become devotees, they become very strong in their determination very quickly. Men take longer, like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Even the men can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Next is one comment from, as usual, every day they make comment, Divya Mataji and Vinu Prabhu. As always, excellent class, Hare Krishna all. That is a comment. And now Hari Prabhu can go next.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, my question today is, when we do chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we do focus our mind on each and every syllable, and whenever our mind gets carried away, we try to pull it back and then try to focus on those syllables. But it's a human mind tendency that sometimes our mind also thinks about pictures, the forms of different forms of Krishna we read about in our scriptures, and then we try to visualize or imaginate those forms, his pastimes, sometimes 200 form, 400 Vishnu form, or maybe universal form. So since you have gone through the universal form chapter today, so my question is that is it normal that a devotee can meditate on universal form of Krishna as well?
Very good question. Very good question. He can. There's no doubt about it. You can meditate on any form of Krishna. But the universal form of Krishna is a very horrendous form, shows how people are being devoured by Krishna and things like that. Not very good for loving relationship with Krishna, you see what I'm saying? You want to really fall in love with Krishna, the sweet relationships, the sweetness of Krishna is much better to actually focus on. By the way, his universal form, he describes himself as like a material form. It's not his, for example, he doesn't have a universal form in the spiritual world like that. He just shows that here. The spiritual world is all sweetness, you know what I mean? So basically the idea is, it depends on what you want. If you want to participate in all the horror of this world and enjoy the horror of this world, like that. Some people like that. Some people like, say, for example, they like horror movies, The more it frightens them, the better, you know what I mean? That really great movie when it really frightens me like that. But most of us are not like that. We like more the love movies and the, artsy movies and the song movies and the different types of things like that. So the idea is ask yourself in your heart, what do you really want in your relationship with Krishna? And then start chanting based on that system, so that basically, if you do want to see a picture of Krishna, put that picture of Krishna that really you aspire for, that you want to go there, you want to be with that Krishna. But if you want to be with the universal form, then you can see Arjuna is a very, very powerful person, by the way. He said, you can put all the people on this planet together and their power be a small fraction of Arjuna's power. That's how powerful he was. You know what I'm saying? And he started shaking, trembling, saying, please, Krishna, I don't want to see this form. It's too hard for me. It's too horrifying, too horrible. So obviously, none of us will be able to even survive. Arjuna at least survived it. We wouldn't even be able to survive it if we actually saw it. So the idea is don't meditate on things like that, because ultimately it will lead to a very bad result for you in person, you see what I'm saying? Meditate on something that is going to be of value to you, that is going to make you feel more encouraged, more empowered, like that, happier person, like that. And this idea of having a picture in front of you so that, when you're chanting, you're listening to every syllable properly. Every syllable is very important. You are actually looking at the picture so that your mind doesn't go everywhere because you're looking at the picture, but you keep the mind in one place. Another very good way to keep the mind in place is to have some meaning. Like, say, for example, I'm talking to you right now, right? The words that I'm choosing have meaning. Therefore, I'm focused because I'm speaking with meaning. But if I was talking to you without meaning, I often say this, people laugh at me when I say this. But imagine I said to you, Tiki Tiki Tempo, no sa Rambo, Sari Mari, Ruchi, Pipperi Pembo. Now, what did you understand from that?
Nothing.
Nothing. I didn't understand anything from it. There's no language like that that means anything. But I can say it again. A different emotion. Tiki Tiki Tembo. No, Sari Mari, Ruchi, Pipperi Pembo. I changed the emotion. Still doesn't make any difference. The words have no meaning. When the words have no meaning to you, the mind is going to look for meaning. That is the mind's purpose. The mind wants meaning. So if you don't give it meaning, then it's going to go looking for a meaning somewhere else. And that's when the mind runs away from you.
Right.
Looking at a picture, it gives you meaning. You see, I think you're looking at Krishna and say, oh, it's so beautiful. This is what the person I want to be with. So there's meaning, you see what I say? The emotion is tied in with that meaning. You're going to be this. But even if you just thought every word has a meaning, like Prabhupada says, the word Hare means energy of the Lord. What can you do in your life without energy? Without energy. Krishna means all attractive Lord. What can you do if there was no attraction? If you were not attracted and nobody is attracted to you because of whatever your quality. And then Ram means the reservoir of all pleasure, the origin of all pleasure, the whole ocean of all pleasure is the name Rama. And then what we are saying to the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. That is the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra. Now, if you chant with that meaning, and every time you're chanting, this is what's coming in your mind. This is what I'm saying to the Lord, O energy of the Lord, all attractive Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, kindly engage in your service. And I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. And that's the meaning that's coming to my mind while I'm chanting these words. Obviously, I'm going to be very focused. Why? Because I want to speak to the Lord, and I want to directly communicate with Him how my heart is feeling about Him. I'm sending Him a love song. I'm writing Him a love poetry. Now the mind is not going to run everywhere. Just like when a boy falls in love with a girl, he's speaking to this girl, his mind is not running everywhere.
Right.
Focused on that girl.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You absolutely nailed it. Thank you so much. It's a great explanation. I appreciate it. Hare Krishna.
Someday we should do this holy name thing, because there are many techniques like that. They're very, very different techniques. These techniques really work. We've tested them, they work. That's why some of us are chanting many more rounds now. Because now we're really enjoying the rounds. So obviously when you enjoy something, you'll do more, right? If you like to eat pizza, you'll eat more pizza. That's the way it goes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
But holy name is you can chant a lot and nothing will happen to your belly. Pizza you eat too much and you have a bellyache. Anyway, thank you. It's a beautiful question.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Prabhu, for the question. Next is Shraddha Mataji. Mataji, please go ahead.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. First of all, my Dandavat Pranam unto your lotus feet. Thank you so much. My question is same along the lines of what Harit Prabhu had already asked. It could be slightly different. I'm not sure, but I'll ask away anyways. So I have three, categories to my question, and then I'll just say one by one. So we have different forms of Krishna, like his personal transcendental form, his universal form, and so on. He has many forms, anyways. And then the second part of it is we chant his holy names. And then the third part is, holy names of his. And then the third part is anything that we see in front of us, is all his energy, which is him again.
Yes.
So there are three different things that I would like to, say, and there could be many more like that. So if there are three different things, and which should I be actually meditating on, on his, the personal form or the Mahamantra, the holy names that we say, because all these three or many more are indifferent. Basically, it's all the same.
They're non-different.
Yeah. So for my little mind, I'm not able to conceive the point as to which one should I do, because everything is same. I can do anything, right?
Yeah. So
what's your opinion about it, Prabhu? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
It's actually a very beautiful question, because this is something a lot of people have as a difficulty while they're chanting, So the answer to it is a very simple answer, and sometimes when you give a simple answer, people think it doesn't work, but actually it works. If you try it, you'll see it'll work. You just have to try it. It's just like, say, for example, you go and somebody invited you for a feast, right? And then you saw all these items laid out in front of you, and some of those items you don't even know what it is like. You have no idea. Some of you have a little idea, some of you have no idea. How are you going to know which one is the best tasting, the one that you're going to like the most? How will you know that? You're going to try them, right? Let's taste, see how they are. So in the same way, when you chant, one day just chant based on like we said, the universal form, or whatever the form that you thought, personal form. Universal form I would not advise. Personal form, just any personal form of Krishna, right? That first of all, you must like that form. When you look at it, you must think, man, Krishna looks really nice here. I could fall in love with a person like this. So choose one of those forms, okay? Like that. Because this is going to be a love affair between you and Krishna. It's already a love affair. It's only we've forgotten about it. And then the next day, put that aside. Now you try the other method, right? Where you chant based on the sound vibration. Some people, they put their hands like that, they'll chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You know, they'll close their ear, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So it vibrates. Some people go to the corner of a room and in the corner, stand near the corner and chant with it. Vibrates. It's called Gunjaish. You know, it vibrates. The name vibrates. So you are actually perceiving the holy name, the vibe of the holy name. Do it like that. Third day, like you said, everything you see in front of you is actually Krishna. So look at everything while you're chanting. Then you say to yourself, which of the three actually gave me more happiness? You know yourself, you can check it out. Just like when you taste different foods, you know which one gave you more happiness than the other one. You see? And so you can do it by trial and error like that. Because each and every one of us is different. We have our own natures. You never know which one really strikes our nature really nicely. Just like on that table, there's so many items that are available to eat, right? And say 50 people go and eat food from that table. All of them are not going to like the same one, same item. They're not going to say, only that one was the best. No. They might say that if their leader says, I like this one best. Oh, I also like that one best. Because they only identify with the leader. But they will have their personal taste. They might like this one or that one. It'll be different for different people. This is why chapter 3 is very important. Krishna is saying, find me from where you are, not from where somebody else is. And you are where your nature is. So you can find yourself from there. So this is one way to do it. Another way to do it is, if you have a spiritual master, you have somebody who's giving you guidance, talk to them and say, according to my nature, which one do you think I'm going to like the best? And they'll tell you, because they know your nature. They'll tell you, you're going to like this one better. Amazing how people can do that. So that's another way of figuring it out. You know? And so, or read some books on the chanting of the holy name. They tell you different things there. And in reading the book, when you see some idea, your eyes will light up at the idea that you're going to like the most. You'll just light up. You'll, wow, that sounds good. That sounds really good. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you know, imagine I gave you hundreds of explanations. One or two of them is going to sound a lot better than the others to you. You're going to feel like that sounded like the one I liked, because that's your nature. You got to be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Copy. You might copy for the sake of testing it. That's good. But don't copy for the sake of, you know, being like another person. I often give the example, I'm sitting on a chair and I have a microphone in front of me. I put the microphone on the ground, I sit on the microphone, I pick up the chair and speak through the chair. And people think, why are you doing that? And I say, well, if you're a microphone, don't use yourself as a chair. If you're a chair, don't act like a microphone. Be who you are. Krishna made you to be you. He made you, you know, Giraj Maharaj says it very nicely. He made you as a certain flavor. He wants to taste you. He wants to taste that flavor. And imagine you eating ice cream, but it tastes like pizza. What are you going to do to that ice cream? You're going to spit it out, right? Even though you like pizza. Ice cream is not supposed to taste like pizza, unless it's pizza flavored ice cream. But if it's, say, vanilla ice cream and it tastes like pizza, you think there's something wrong with ice cream. If it's chocolate ice cream and it tastes like pizza, you're going to say something wrong with ice cream. If you eat pizza and it tastes like, you know, ice cream, like a gulab jamun, it is not pizza. So like that, be yourself. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, definitely, Prabhu. That definitely helps me. You know, and I'll contemplate on this and then, you know, try my things out.
You got to try it out. You got to try it out. That's the fun of this. You know, this is the fun of Krishna consciousness. It's actually a fun thing to do. You know, it's not a boring thing to do. You're told what to do and have to do this and here are the 10 commandments. Follow the 10 commandments, otherwise you go to hell. Yeah, this is not dogmatic. This is love. Love means it has to be individual. You know, there's no such thing as mass love. I love the masses. That's just me big talking. There's no such thing. You love a person. That's real. So, you know, Krishna is a person, you are a person, and you both love with one another. Have a nice love affair. Let it be the best love affair that anybody has ever had. So you can tell the story of the best love affair.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shraddha Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. The next question is from Manish Dikshit Prabhu. Prabhuji, how can I do undivided devotion when so many things create worry in my mind? Like I'm in IT and I need to catch up with technology, learn new things, and thinking about reading Bhagavatam, chanting 16 rounds, attending classes will take most of time, leaving no time to study things. He's asking on behalf of everybody.
Very good, perfect question. Yeah, that's a perfect question. So actually, the situation is that no matter what is happening in your life, if you're thinking that is happening because of your relationship with Krishna, you know what I'm saying? Say, for example, I worry about where am I going to earn my money tomorrow because I really need to pay for some bills, this, that, and the other. If I think to myself, what I'm worrying about is Krishna. I'm really worrying about Krishna. Nothing wrong worrying about it, right? Because it's something you need. But you know it's Krishna, so Krishna is also going to do something about it, right? So I do worry about it, but at the same time, I feel to myself, because I'm worrying and it is related to Krishna, me and Krishna will get it done somehow. I'll do my best and Krishna will make the rest happen and everything will work out. Now you have to do your best. It's not like you say to yourself, well, since Krishna is going to do it, I'm just going to relax and the money will come tomorrow. You might be in for a rude shock. Money may come tomorrow. Krishna may decide, okay, just let him have it anyway because he has some faith in me. I don't want him to lose faith in me, so I'm just going to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? That may happen, but Krishna doesn't want us to be lazy. Chapter 3 it says, one who does sacrifice will be happy, not he who lights no fire. Meaning that we also have to make an effort, you see. And if we make an effort, then Krishna will fulfill our desires. Now, it doesn't mean it will fulfill tomorrow. Just like, Arjuna did not win the battle of Kurukshetra in one day. You see, he had to do different things on different days to prove that he had some abilities and he was going to use his abilities. Why? To please Krishna. He was going to fight to please Krishna. You're doing IT work to please Krishna. You are worrying about your IT work to please Krishna. That is devotional service. That is devotional service. You might say, how can that be that material life? No, for devotee there is no material life. There's only devotional service. That's why it's called undivided. That's why it is called undeviating. That is why it's called unflinching. Everything we do connected to Krishna. Now you might say, I do some bad things. Say, for example, and you're not doing this, but I'm saying this thing. Say you say, I like to drink liquor. By the way, Krishna says, I am the taste in liquids. Is liquor a liquid or not? Of course it is. So he's the taste of liquor too. In fact, Lord Chaitanya used to go into the house of the drunks when he was on this planet. People complain, why are you going to the drunks? He said, one thing about these drunks, they really love liquor. They really love the taste. They get liquor in their mouth, they're like, I'm happy, I'm in heaven. So I went to tell them that this taste you're getting is actually Krishna. You can get more taste by getting even better liquor. Krishna is the best liquor. He'll intoxicate you, totally intoxicate. You'll fall madly in love, just like you're getting mad and crazy with drinking this stuff. You'll become mad with Krishna, crazy with Krishna. You'll be fine. That's much better, far better. Why are you drinking this low quality liquor? Why don't you drink the highest quality liquor? Highest quality liquor is when you drink the holy name. When you're chanting, you're thinking, I'm drinking the sweetest nectar. One of my godbrothers, he was doing that when I was in Fiji. He would sit near the ocean, close his eyes, and he was thinking he was drinking nectar while he was chanting. And he would really focus on the chanting. That's what he liked to do. So his nature. Maybe because he's a very nice devotee, really focused on his chanting and everything. Faith in Krishna. So in your work and all the distractions you are thinking right now, they're distractions because you're not connecting them to Krishna. Connect them to Krishna. It's not a distraction. It is just the maze you're going to go through. You know how sometimes there's this crossword puzzle and things like that, and they have a maze, right? And you're in the maze. Now your idea is to come out of that maze from the place where you can come out. So you find, look, you check, and you come out of the maze. You think, I won the game. I came out of the maze. This life is a maze. Love it, work it, make it happen for one purpose only, please Krishna. And then when you walk out and you meet Krishna, you're going to be the happiest person in creation. In fact, you're going to be happy before that too. The beauty about Krishna consciousness is that you can taste it now, not that you just have to taste it when you become fully successful. Just like when you want to become a billionaire, when you make first $1 million, you're going to start tasting your billionaire. It's not like all of a sudden $1 billion will come one day. And before that, there was nothing. Then suddenly $1 billion turned up. No. First $1 million came, then $5 million came, then $50 million came, then $100 million came. And that gave you encouragement, right? So more. I'm making money. Make more. One day I become billionaire. Hopefully trillionaire too. Devotees should be the richest. Why not? So how that happens? You do, and then you succeed. And then success breeds more success. And then you become fully successful. So success has two parts to it, opportunity and challenge. And did you know, in this world, the greatest success comes from challenges, not from opportunities. If you tell a person, you buy my product, you'll become happy, he may or may not buy your product. But if you tell a person that you are suffering, if you buy my product, your suffering will go away, he'll buy your product. People in this world are more motivated by suffering than by good things, happen things. Now it's funny, Krishna created the world like that, so that there is more suffering anyway. Why? So that he will know that people will actually buy Krishna consciousness. And Lord Nityananda says that go to the marketplace and buy the holy name at any price. And fill your go down with the holy name, so that becomes your product that you're going to sell everybody now. And you're going to become rich selling that product. Rich in what way? Love for Krishna. That's real wealth. The other wealth that we have in this world is necessary for swadharma in this world. It's not going to, you can be a trillionaire and you go, if you ever end up in the spiritual world, you'll find that $1 trillion doesn't go there. It doesn't even go in this next life, from this life to next life, unless you get born in the same family or something and then somehow you get it by luck. But generally, no. So this is the process, Don't worry for the sake of worrying. Worry for the sake of pleasing Krishna. That worry is very valuable. Mother Yashoda always worried about Krishna. She would do fire sacrifices, worship Lord Narayan, worship the sun god, so that her son will be happy. And she's the perfect devotee. There is no better devotee than Mother Yashoda. She did it for Krishna's pleasure. You can do the same. And actually, Prabhupada gave us a very nice technique. Are you married? Do you have any children?
Yes, Prabhu.
You have a son, daughter?
Two sons, Prabhu.
Two sons.
Yeah.
So Prabhupada says that when a son comes, you should know Krishna has come to your life. A second son comes, you should know Balaram has come to your life. Okay? Now, if you do everything for their pleasure, those two sons, you'll become fully Krishna conscious. Understanding that this is Krishna and Balaram come to my house to take direct service. You can ask Sarvajaya Madhava, okay? He has two wonderful sons, wonderful daughter was Radharani. There were times when, with children, it's not easy, right? Bringing up children in this world is not easy. But he showed so much love to them, that they stayed together, no problems. And as a result, you can see what a nice devotee he has become. He's taking care of his family. You have to take care of your children. You have to take care of your wife, your husband, whoever it is, your spouse. Understand, this is Krishna. There's different ways to take service directly. And if you understand that that's why you're doing that, the son will be happy because he would love to be treated like Krishna and Balaram anyway. And Krishna will become happiest. This is the process. Then your IT problems and everything will vanish because you'll know you're doing it for big cause, right? When the cause is big, the problem is small. When the cause is small, the problem is big. So they say it's all about the why. Why means WHY. Why? Why are you doing what you're doing? The bigger the why, the more fun you're going to have in this life. Make your why bigger. Double your why, like we used to say. I say many times. Double it. You like to earn $200,000 a year? Challenge yourself. I'll earn $500,000 a year and have some fun doing it. You may not earn $500,000, you might earn 300,000, but still be 100,000 more than 200, right? But the key thing is understand that $500,000 is Krishna. That's why you chase it. Not for the $500,000, but for Krishna. You assign $500,000 and said, that is Krishna for me. And you chase Krishna like that. Know that when you get it, you got Krishna. And always think of Krishna in the process. Think about him, talk about him, read about him, laugh about him, cry about him, everything about Krishna. You have undivided attention on Krishna. Very successful person. This is our problem.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
For being a nice devotee.
So that's almost last question. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class as always. And tomorrow we'll be in 12th chapter. And I think pretty soon we are going to complete Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, and by the way, 12th chapter is the last of the devotional service chapters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Concluded. It's about devotional service itself, right? It's a beautiful chapter, you know. Just like chapter 9, if we spend a few more time on chapter 12,
Mm-hmm.
chapter 12 says who Krishna thinks is the best devotee.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to read, no? These qualities is what makes Krishna feel very nice. So we can sort of aspire for those qualities, you know.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very nice chapter. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful chapter. All chapters.
His Grace Muralidharan Prabhu has raised hand. So let's see if he wants to share something. Muralidharan Prabhu, please go ahead.
Please, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Mataji's, Dandava Pranams. Do I have time for a question?
Please, please.
Okay, so once again, thank you all for coming together, and this is such a wonderful session. And thank you to Sarvajaya Madhav Prabhu again for, like I was saying yesterday, for mining this gold mine of Nityananda Prabhu and giving it so freely. He's the most munificent jeweler on earth to give this so freely. And or a compilation of all these, because there's so much of nuggets of wonderful information here. So I was asking with a question. I don't know if it's just an observation, but something triggered in me when you said, no other form manifests the Vishwarupa.
Yes.
And sometimes we have explanations as Achindya Beda Beda, but I'm sure there are always some good explanations. So my question is, Srila Prabhupada often says the expansions of the Lord are like one lamp lighting lamp. They're all equally potent, but still there's one original lamp. And we often hear that the Lord is absolute. If you take away, then the Lord is still 100%. But however it is said, Lord Mahavishnu, I forget that number, I think 98% as potent as the Supreme Lord, and so it comes down and Lord Shiva, who is actually none other than an expansion of Krishna, to a smaller percentage, and then there's the potency of the Jiva. Is it that all these expansions are equally potent, or but they are not manifesting all the qualities? For example, it is interesting that Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord himself, he stole all the newborns of the Brahmin just to have darshan of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And another thing which I had a question about is, we say that 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu is equal to one name of Krishna, and 3 names of Lord Rama is equal to one name of Krishna. But Lord Rama in the Dashavada's Stotra from Srila Jayadeva Goswami, he's considered as an expansion of Lord Vishnu. And so there seems to be some contradictions there. And but it looks like when you look at the planetary system, the Rama Rajya is higher than the Vaikuntha planets, I think, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so just a whole bunch of observations, and I was wondering if you can put a common thread to that. And,
sure. So basically what happens is it's different purposes, you know, like say for example, we say only Krishna shows the universal form. The other forms of Krishna are also very powerful, equally powerful as he is, but they will not show the universal form for one reason. And that is because they don't want to confuse anybody. So everybody knows which form is ultimately the form that you want to go towards. You see that? See? So for that reason, they won't show. They can show the form. It's not like they can't, but they never do. The reason they don't is they don't want to create any confusion. See? They have a particular purpose. They'll play their purpose and leave it at that. You see what I'm saying? Because that will please Krishna. Because ultimately, all these forms are in Krishna Loka. They're all there in Goloka Vrindavan. So they're all serving Krishna there. Ekela Ishvara Krishna, Arasa Bhritya. That's the statement that is made. All of them are serving here. So they know, but they're themselves serving Krishna. Krishna himself in lower forms, and not lower forms, but other forms, serving himself. He can do that. That's Krishna. He's an amazing person. He can do so many amazing things. So this idea that, Lord Shiva has only this much percentage, the fact is that is only in the material world for the purposes of teaching us, training us, giving us the right understanding, so that we'll rise to the platform of higher consciousness. But when you go to Golok Vrindavan, where Lord Shiva is also there, Lord Shiva, nobody thinks is less than Krishna. Nobody thinks anybody is less than Krishna. Everybody loves Krishna, and they love everybody also, equally as much as they love Krishna. But they always talk about Krishna a lot because they realize when they talk about Krishna, everybody else becomes happy. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's the reality of the situation. But in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna does not consider himself higher than the other living, including a blade of grass. He doesn't think it's greater than the blade of grass. But that blade of grass can become a beautiful girl at any time, a beautiful boy at any time, a mountain, a river, a whole, a planet. And the blade of grass can create a whole creation. And then manifest it with people and everything, just like this creation is full of everything. The blade of grass can do that. A particle of dust in Golok Vrindavan can do that. It's hard to understand all these things, Too mind-blowing, mind-boggling, mind-blowing. The fact remains, this is the amazing thing about Golok Vrindavan. So let's go there, that amazing place. It's going to be far more better than here. In the meantime, here there are some gradations and, higher, lower, a little bit like that, just so that it points us in the right direction. You see what I'm saying? So go there, go this way, you'll get to the best. And all of them are great, but they're all helping along the way. See what I'm saying? They're all Krishna in different ways, bringing us back to the original Krishna, who, by the way, is your Krishna. My Krishna. Every one of us is Krishna. It's different, not the same Krishna. Every one of us has an individual Krishna that loves us totally, and we love him totally. I understand how that happens, but that's how it happens. So, that's the idea behind it. So there's no real confusion, conflict, or anything like that. Purpose is being achieved and served by why it happens that way. That's all. A higher purpose, the highest purpose is being achieved. That's the idea. Thank you for the wonderful question, because these things sometimes create the doubts in our mind, confusion in our mind. Not in your mind particularly. I'm just saying others also. When you ask questions like this, others answer questions are also answered. When people ask questions, others also think, "Wow, I didn't know that. Now I know." It's very important to ask questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for enlightening us. Hare Krishna, Dandavats.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats.
Thank you, Muralidhar Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Please stay safe. I did mention yesterday that we all are going to pray for you because you're in front line and your other colleagues and doctors. So I request everyone to please chant one time Hare Krishna for Muralidhar Prabhu. He's a doctor and he's dealing with all the patients, COVID patients. So please pray for him. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Thank you so much for your service, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kindness, Prabhu and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hari Bol. So there is one, I don't know, it's question or comment. I'm going to start reading. Arvind Balasubramanian, Uttam Sloka Prabhu, IDS, had lecture at ISKCON ISV some 10 years ago that there are many, many Krishna incarnations. The Supreme Personality, if Ghanasham, and he is the one and only, the Krishna mentioned in the most of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradas is the bluish Krishna, who is an expansion of Narayana. So, I don't know if you have time for commenting on this, but
yeah. So basically what happens there is, it's just like, sometimes we say, right, that Krishna is Vishnu avatar.
Mhm.
So many times you see Hindus say the same thing.
Mhm.
Because the thing is that Krishna comes through Vishnu, right, to this world. Doesn't mean that Vishnu is his origin. He
Prabhu,
comes.
can I interrupt you? I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I would like to request you, before you answer this question, if you so desire, tomorrow we can go through the universal map, how Krishna, from Krishna different planets, and then if you can explain this, I think this is going to be a good start before we start devotion.
Wonderful.
Because 12th chapter is devotion. I think once they understand the Krishna's position correctly with the Brahma Samhita chart of the whole creation, I think it will be easy for us to all to understand devotion.
Also, visually you can see it. That's very good.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So, Arvind Prabhu, stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
No problem. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So we can start the prayers, Prabhuji?
Yes, please. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlad Lad Dai. Anya Kashi Purvaksha. Tanka Nakai. To Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimha. Toyami Tato Nrsimha. Nrsimha, Vidaye Nrsimha. Nrsimha Nadim Sharanam Prapadye. Sakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubingam Yeshavadita Hare Jagadish
Adbhuta Shringa Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Jagadish Hare Jagadish Hare
Shabadita Rupa Jaya Hare
Jagadish Hare
Narasimha Jaya Ananta Shesh Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Shesha Jaya
Lakshmi Narasimha
Ananta Shesha Narasimha
Jaya Ananta
Avinash Jaya Nrsimha Dev Vignash Jaya Nrsimha Deva Jaya
Jaya Vigna Vinajaya Narasimha Jaya Vigna Vinajaya Narasimha Dev
Hari Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya
Jaya
Narahari
Narahari
Jaya
Narahari Jaya Narahari
Prahlad Narad Jaya Prahlad Narad Jaya Prahlad Narad Jaya Prahlad Narad Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Ila Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya
Prabhupada
Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jai Gauranga Haribo
Haribo
Haribo Jai Gaura Haribo Jai Haribo 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 Jai Gaura Haribo
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, Nityananda Prabhuji, for your wonderful classes. Really appreciate
Thank you all. Thank
for
you
your
all.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad.
Thank you,
Dandavat Pranam.
Chandraman Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I'm looking forward to the Bhagavatam classes very soon.
Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you.
I think that's why lockdown is extended, Prabhu, to have Bhagavatam class, you know.
Yeah.
Rapid fire Bhagavatam will do, so we'll finish fast.
We'll give a recommendation to extend the lockdown.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
All the
Hare
best.
Krishna.
Take
Thank
care.
you all.
See you tomorrow. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Nityananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hari Bol. We're ending now. Ending the meeting. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Jai Ho. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's late, so we'll end the
Hare
meeting now.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.